I had been dating my boyfriend for 6 years, and he decided to propose to me during our graduation ceremony. I attended the event dressed in a wedding gown, only to be taken aback when he knelt in front of my competitor and turned to me, saying, "I'm sorry, I can't marry an orphan." I later reconnected with my biological parents, while he shamelessly begged me to get back together, asking if I had forgotten the 6 years we spent together. Accompanied by friends, I attended the graduation ceremony in my wedding dress, where Linda Lynn and her friends mocked me, believing I was trying to force a marriage. Linda, the daughter of a mining tycoon, was spoiled by her family and exhibited a bit of a princess complex. She is still my rival in love. I have had a crush on my boyfriend, Leo Wei, for over 2 years. My roommate, Mia Tang, wanted to stand up for me, but I stopped her. I smiled as I looked at the group that was mocking me and asked Linda, "Has the hair on the back of your head grown out yet?" Last time, she had blocked me in the girls' restroom with a group of people, trying to bully me, but I fought back. I kicked her to the ground, pressed her face into the restroom floor, and pulled out the hair from the back of her head. When I was working part-time in the restaurant kitchen, I was really good at plucking chicken feathers. Linda seemed to recall a painful memory from last time. Her expression changed, and she pointed at me but couldn't say a word. "Selena Song, Leo is here." Mia tugged at the hem of my shirt. I turned to look at Leo, who was walking in through the door. He was dressed in a sharp black suit, holding a large bouquet of roses, looking exceptionally handsome. He walked towards me. I could hear my heart racing, but he passed right by me without so much as a glance, acting like a complete stranger. In that moment, I was stunned. I could hear my classmates gasping and exclaiming in surprise, and a wave of unease washed over me. Turning around, I saw Leo handing a bouquet of roses to Linda. With a smug look on her face, Linda took the flowers, pretending to be shy, but her eyes clearly betrayed her pride. Leo knelt on one knee, pulled a ring from his pocket, and proposed to Linda. She readily accepted and playfully asked Leo to put the ring on her finger. After putting on the diamond ring, she excitedly shook her hand, intentionally showing off to me. When our eyes met, Linda embraced Leo's neck and kissed him like a victor. In that instant, a wave of anger surged through me, and I clenched my fists tightly, the knuckles cracking. I glared coldly at the man before me and suddenly slapped him. Having done manual labor regularly, my strength wasn't small, and Leo staggered slightly as a result. In an instant, a distinct 5-finger mark appeared on his right cheek, swollen and red. I said with a cold smile, "I wish you success in your studies abroad. Let off some firecrackers and make some noise for good luck." "Selena, are you crazy?" Linda rushed over. I grabbed her by the hair at the back of her head, trying to pull her away. To my surprise, it was just a wig, and her bald head was clearly exposed. It seems that she was too busy trying to steal my partner before to have time to get a hair transplant. The onlookers were taking pictures of Linda as she screamed, quickly covering the back of her head with her hands. Leo immediately stepped in to protect Linda, taking off his suit jacket to shield her. There was no way I would let him succeed. I threw away the wig I was holding, grabbed Linda by the elbow, and forcefully kicked Leo away. He fell to the ground moaning in pain from the kick, and in that instant, my fondness for him vanished. Looking at the disheveled Leo, I began to question my feelings over the past 8 years. "Selena, just wait, I won't let you get away with this." However, Linda was completely oblivious to the situation and kept shouting in excitement. So, I slapped her twice. I pushed her towards Leo, as if I were throwing away garbage. Leo hurriedly stepped forward to protect Linda. "Linda is the person who came between me and Leo. Since you like her, take her." I glanced at this disappointing couple, feeling regret for the 8 years of my life I had wasted. The conference room was filled with chatter, and some people were even secretly taking photos. This farce would soon become a hot topic of conversation. Leo must be feeling quite uncomfortable at this moment. He had worked very hard to stay at the university and secure an opportunity as a visiting scholar, but now his reputation was in tatters, which he surely cares about. After all, he has to face his students every day as they judge his morals and character. Without a thick skin, such pressure would be unbearable. Leo has always had a strong sense of pride since he was young. After achieving my goal, I clapped my hands and left without looking back. Once outside, I felt a sense of grievance and made a phone call. When the call connected, I tried my best to sound normal as I said, "Hey, can you come pick me up?" Ryan Shin immediately noticed something was off and asked hurriedly, "What's wrong? Did someone upset you? Where are you?" Ryan asked. I shook my head, knowing he couldn't see me, and replied, "No, I just miss you all. I miss home." Ryan didn't ask further questions. Instead, he asked me directly, "Where are you?" His tone became serious as he instructed his secretary to pause the meeting. Then, he leaned in and said softly, "Wait for me. I'll come to get you right away." I am the youngest daughter of the Shin family, Ryan's biological sister. I was supposed to be cherished and grow up like Linda, but instead, I struggled to survive in an orphanage. Such is the way fate plays tricks on us. After the fire in high school, the hospital's examination report coincidentally matched my biological information with that in the missing persons database. When I woke up from my hospital bed, I saw Ryan's father, Ryan's mother, and Ryan himself standing by my bedside. Their eyes were filled with concern and the joy of reunion as they told me that I was their family. During my hospital stay, my family continuously brought me various health supplements, such as ginseng, bird's nest soup, and nutritious broths. Their sudden enthusiasm for my well-being left me feeling a bit overwhelmed and uncomfortable. I couldn't shake the feeling that no one would be this kind to me without a reason. Like an ostrich, I chose to hide in Leo's hospital room. Leo looked pale, sitting on the bed, engrossed in his studies. When he saw me, his eyes instantly lit up, and he kindly invited me to sit down. The director and the staff pooled their money to buy canned yellow peaches and apple milk, all of which they gave to me. At that moment, I naively thought that this gesture meant more to me than $1 million supplement. During my time at the orphanage, I had a good relationship with Leo because I was the one he brought back to the orphanage. The director told me that when I was 5, I had a high fever and was on the brink of death, but fortunately, I survived. But I have forgotten what happened before the orphanage. We, the children, are all abandoned and will rely on each other in the future. Leo said I was a gift from heaven to him, so he gave me a new name, Selena, which symbolizes never being separated. His severe burn on the elbow made me even more grateful for his saving me. "Shall we be in a relationship?" While I was carefully changing his dressing, he brought up this request for the third time, his gaze intense and penetrating. I felt a bit embarrassed under his stare, but ultimately nodded in agreement. He happily embraced me tightly, as if he wanted to incorporate me into his life. We hoped to be together forever. I was deeply enchanted by Leo's love, but because of his continual disdain for the wealthy and his affectation, I chose to deliberately distance myself from the family I had lost and then found again. I never expected that the one who betrayed us would be Leo, who loved me so deeply. Men's words are often unreliable. When they saw me going home with Ryan, Ryan's father and mother were overjoyed. The elderly couple personally prepared a lavish meal. My mother held my hand, her eyes a little teary, repeating again and again, "Sweetheart, it's just good to have you back." I couldn't help but feel a bit melancholic. At this moment, the strong mental support I had began to crumble. I held my mom tightly and cried heartbrokenly. My dad, mom, and Ryan were all concerned and criticized Leo. My brother Ryan rolled up his sleeves, wanting to find someone to tie Leo up and teach him a lesson. In the end, with his comfort, I finally managed to smile through my tears. When Dad saw me like this, he burst out laughing and offered to help me get revenge. He said he would find someone to deal with the Lin family, to drown the money tree, and while he was at it, feed some fish food to take care of the arowana too. Recently, the Lin family started live streaming, and we planned to cut their power so they couldn't broadcast. Dad and my brother seemed to be joking around, sharing laughs. I gradually relaxed. This was my home after all. My parents and older brother felt completely at ease. Everything was behind us. At the graduation party, the video of me tearing into the mistress and kicking the scumbag spread rapidly on social media. Netizens referred to me as heartless yet passionate, praising my striking back against the cheaters as thrilling, as if they were reading an entertaining novel. The scene was truly intense and uplifting to watch. Grabbing the mistress with my left hand and kicking the scumbag with my right foot was simply refreshing. How could the people upstairs know that I had an extra bowl of rice? Didn't they notice the beauty of the young lady? I really want to sing a song for her. The looks of a scumbag and his girlfriend don't really matter. Unexpectedly, Linda's animated gif of her bald head, along with photos turned into memes and the caption "Love you to baldness," suddenly went viral. Linda's infidelity sparked a wave of criticism online, leading to a significant drop in Lin's stock prices. Meanwhile, Leo's reputation plummeted, forcing him to give up his chance to stay at the university as a visiting scholar. Ryan and Mia talked about the recent events and criticized both Linda and Leo. I found it amusing and continued to live my life as usual. Back at the Shin family home, I was no longer as busy as before. I simply focused on doing what I enjoyed. With my parents' support, I opened a cake shop in the city center. Seeing customers enjoy the cakes I made, their faces filled with happiness, brings me great joy. One day, as I was closing the store, Leo suddenly burst in. He began to speak excitedly, saying, "Selena, I truly like you. I just finished school and I'm starting a business. With Linda's resources, I'll be able to make a lot of money soon. When the time comes, I will break up with Linda, and we can have a better life together. As long as you say on social media that we parted on good terms, it will show that you misunderstood my relationship with Linda. The Lin family has decided to increase their investment. As long as they can flatter Linda a bit, they will soon make money and live the life they want." He excitedly grabbed my hand, but I forcefully shook him off, feeling as if I was trying to rid myself of something dirty. I questioned him, "Where is your pride and integrity?" Leo wore a mocking expression and said to me, "Selena, I've been through so much over the years. I've faced hardships without parents, money, or a background. Don't be so naive. Pride and integrity are just excuses for poverty and failure." He once again scrutinized the boy I once liked. They say that the face reflects the heart, and at that moment, his handsome features appeared gloomy and twisted, making me feel nauseous. He, who used to care so much about pride and integrity, now bows to power and money. In my sophomore year, he convinced me to move in with him. He had promised to help me move my belongings, but an hour after our agreed time, he still hadn't shown up. When I called him, he said something came up and he couldn't make it. I replied that it was okay, but I felt helpless as I looked at the luggage by my feet. Just then, a wealthy classmate saw me and kindly offered to drive me and my luggage to the apartment building. Upon seeing that it was a walk-up apartment, this classmate graciously helped me carry my luggage one piece at a time up to the 8th floor. I was very grateful for his assistance and offered him a glass of ice water to take a break. Just then, Leo returned. Upon seeing the boy in the room, he immediately changed his demeanor and acted without hesitation. I shouted in alarm and pulled Leo back, repeatedly apologizing to my classmate. I paid my classmate an entire month's salary as compensation, and secretly asked Ryan to speak on my behalf to calm my classmate's anger. Afterwards, Leo sternly said to me, "Selena, can you have a bit of backbone? Don't be like those materialistic women, don't let others look down on you." Watching Leo now openly admire wealth and connections is truly laughable. He has finally become what he used to despise. He has always been hypocritical, and at that time, I was truly naive and foolish. "Leo, you need to be more clear-headed. Why should I lie for you? The ones in the wrong are you and Linda." I directly refused. "Selena, we've relied on each other since childhood. Isn't that bond worth your help?" Leo's voice was choked with tears, and his eyes were full of pleading, making him look very pitiful. "I sincerely hope the director can be proud of me, and that when I become wealthy, I can improve the conditions at the orphanage. I have plenty of money." Didn't he initially reject these emotional displays? My heart is as hard as stone when faced with his feigned expressions of emotion. Leo noticed that I remained unfazed, and his emotions began to escalate. "Selena, do you really have to ruin me to be satisfied? Why are you so cruel?" He lost control, rushing towards me and gripping my neck, slamming my head violently against the wall. "Selena, if you want to be looked down upon for the rest of your life, then don't hinder my future." Leo showed no mercy. I struggled desperately. The air was being drawn from my chest, and I couldn't catch my breath, feeling suffocated. "I should have known better than to bring you back to the orphanage from the amusement park. I should have let you stay in the cold." Illusions began to appear before my eyes, and memories of childhood before the orphanage surfaced. So, I reached out and grabbed the framed picture from the wall, and without hesitation, I threw it at him. Leo had just been injured and let go of his grip. I didn't have time to catch my breath. I immediately kicked him in the groin. He curled up in pain on the floor. Tears streamed down my face as I hoarsely said, "Leo, I remember now. I wasn't taken back to the orphanage by you. It was you who took me away when my family was buying ice cream. I cried and begged you to take me back, but you refused, insisting that my parents didn't want me anymore. I didn't believe you, so you left me in the snow until I fainted from the cold." I kept kicking him hard, releasing my anger. Ryan came to pick me up and heard what I said. He was filled with rage, picked up a chair, and threw it at Leo, accusing him of being a human trafficker. Then, he grabbed Leo by the collar and punched him hard. Blood trickled from the corner of Leo's mouth as he glanced mockingly between me and Ryan, saying, "Selena, you're not so noble yourself, you're just depending on a rich man." Unable to restrain himself, Ryan landed a few more powerful punches to Leo's stomach. Seeing Leo in such a weak state, I quickly went to persuade Ryan. Taking the opportunity, Leo retaliated by punching Ryan and then quickly escaped from the store. The next day, the public opinion online shifted. Leo posted on Weibo, mentioning that both Selena and I are orphans and our relationship is simple and genuine. She lost faith in me and chose a rich second-generation heir instead. During the most difficult times of my life, I met Linda, who illuminated my life like sunshine. I will dedicate the rest of my life to caring for and loving her. At the end of this message, I have attached a photo of Ryan driving me home as evidence. Thanks to the efforts of the hired supporters of the Lin family, many netizens began to support the love between Linda and Leo. Subsequently, Linda held a live broadcast. During the live broadcast, she sincerely recounted a story about how I attempted to blackmail her for money but ended up bullying her instead. Her bald head became direct evidence of my mistreatment towards her. Linda was portrayed as a pure and innocent figure. When Leo was mentioned, she blushed, her eyes filled with admiration. Internet users commented in droves, believing in love and feeling that Linda and Leo's experiences had finally borne sweet fruit. The talented scholar and the beautiful girl are supposed to be a match made in heaven. Selena expressed her apologies, acknowledging that the incident of school bullying is truly heartbreaking. Now, almost all the comments about me online are filled with criticism. Being labeled as a bully, a cheater, and a materialist, each of these tags is more than I can bear. There's even a netizen who merely remarked that they don't know the whole story and chose not to comment further, yet they are also criticized by other users for lacking conscience and morality. Under the influence of public opinion, Lin's stock surged dramatically and hit the limit. I learned this news while peeling an apple in the hospital ward, and I felt quite calm about it. To be honest, compared to the betrayal of my loved one that I had experienced, these rumors didn't have such a significant impact on me. How could they fabricate such absurd lies? This could lead to legal consequences. Ryan's father felt a surge of anger upon seeing the comments online. What kind of true love is that? What kind of perfect couple? It's just a human trafficker and a scheming girl. They always bully my good daughter and have made Selena suffer a lot. That's too much. I quickly handed the apple to my dad, hoping it would help calm him down. I told him that the netizens were right. Leo is selfish and hypocritical, while Linda tends to abuse her money and power. They truly are a match made in heaven. This experience made me realize that I've finally left the jerk behind and returned to this warm home. I held my dad's hand, acting cute and affectionate. The love and support from my family is a luxury I could never have imagined before. In the past, whenever I had a conflict with someone, whether it was Principal Mom Leo or my teachers, I was always told to apologize and reflect on myself. Ryan lay helplessly in the hospital bed, envying those who had family support. This accident made her realize how much her family favored her, and she felt a bit of happiness, secretly wishing that there was someone who could care for her as well. My brother hasn't exercised for a long time, and after playing with Leo yesterday, he overexerted himself and ended up dislocating his arm, forcing him to wear a cast. Now, his whole body is sore and he can hardly move. Moreover, before they started running, Leo punched him, leaving his eye swollen like a pig's head, with bruises all over. It looks quite terrifying. When Ryan's father saw him like this, he couldn't help but glare at him. It's really pathetic that he can't even win against Leo, who has such a skinny build. Although he was reluctant, he still felt sorry for his brother and gave the apple to him. Ryan took the apple without hesitation, took a big bite, and revealed a proud smile. The old man felt reassured, thinking that Leo would be even worse off. I deliberately targeted areas that outsiders wouldn't notice. If I hadn't been unable to find evidence of him abducting my sister, I would have reported him a long time ago. I was touched by the unspoken bond between Ryan and me, as I held his hand, which was a bit difficult for him to move. Let's wait a bit longer. Ryan's mother looked at us with affection, as if admiring her own masterpiece. I stuck out my tongue at them, feeling a bit shy as I scratched my head. Leo and Linda took advantage of the internet's popularity to show off their love and live stream selling products. As their popularity soared, online bullying began to escalate as well. I watched the two of them pretentiously perform and couldn't help but laugh. This farce dragged on for quite some time, and those with clear vision could see that something was off. I propped my chin on my hand, staring at Ryan, whose eyes were bloodshot and weary from staying up all night playing games. Bro, you look even more tired now. I did a ghostly makeup look for myself, giving Ryan a battle-damaged appearance, and then started a live stream. At first, many internet users and the Lin family's trolls flooded in to insult me, calling me a gold digger and a delinquent girl. I gently wiped my eyes with a tissue soaked in onion juice, and tears streamed down my face, making me look particularly tragic. Along with our makeup, a few passers-by started to feel sympathy for us. I wanted to apologize for the recent situation regarding the use of public resources, and at the same time, clarify things during this live stream. First of all, I did not cheat, nor am I a gold digger. The photo that Leo posted is of me and my biological brother, Ryan. Here are the paternity test results between me and my parents, as well as the notarized proof of my sibling relationship with Ryan. I will show these documents in front of the camera for everyone to see. This young lady is truly a daughter of a wealthy family. I had only seen it in novels before, but now it has become a reality. Those who once labeled her as materialistic probably won't say that anymore, considering they are rich second generation themselves. What's wrong with being rich second generation? Campus bullying is indeed a societal issue. I've noticed some comments from netizens, and more people are beginning to reflect on this problem, while some online trolls continue to needlessly attack other topics. Regarding bullying, I am neither the perpetrator nor have I been a victim. Ms. Linda has threatened and extorted me multiple times in her pursuit of Mr. Leo, and even resorted to violence against me. I'm not sure what Selena is talking about. Linda's hair has been made to look bald because of her actions. I want to see how she explains this. I played the school's surveillance video. Initially, the school didn't want to get involved, but Ryan's father donated 2 new classroom buildings and a gymnasium to the school, along with replacing all the computers. As a result, the school leaders had to greet him with smiles and support the side of justice. In the video, Linda and a group of her followers blocked my way at the classroom door. I wanted to leave, but they wouldn't let me go. They roughly pulled me and snatched my backpack away. I strove to snatch my things back, but they grabbed my arms, restricting my movements. In the end, Linda unzipped my backpack and threw everything inside out the window. A group of people looked down on others. After Linda finished throwing my things, she let out an arrogant laugh, even coming forward to slap my face before pushing me down. What shocked me was that this was actually Linda, who usually speaks softly during her live streams. I should have known she was just a manipulative tease. The person upstairs is either a fake or just a little troublemaker. It's really frustrating. I feel like I'm blind to it all. I've started to sympathize with Selena. My previous criticisms of her were a bit excessive, and I'm sorry for that. I noticed the rapid comments flying by and was surprised to see that even keyboard warriors can reflect on their words. This video has a second part. I imitated Linda and followed her method, using a bit more force, which made the result more pronounced. However, there's no need to play the latter part. The second segment is an audio recording. When Linda and the others pushed me into the women's restroom, I was mindful and recorded it on my phone. Selena, do you think that if we took off your clothes, took pictures, and posted them online, all the men would see it, and Leo would distance himself from you? In the future, you might have to find ways to delete your nude photos from the internet, but you'll never be able to delete them all. Every time you meet someone new, they will search online for your photos, and they might have a negative impression. Linda's tone was reminiscent of a witch from a Disney movie, and it was really frightening. I was so scared that I cried. Linda is truly out of control. Could someone share some resources? To the person above, get ready to be reported and banned. Hugs to Selena, don't worry, girl. I used to be classmates with Linda in middle school. She got so jealous of the class beauty's looks that she actually scratched her face. However, Linda ultimately showed no remorse, as if nothing had happened, which I found very frightening. It is alarming that such things can occur in a society governed by the rule of law. When the camera turned to me, I was in the live stream, crying in a state of deep grievance. With a determined gaze, I called on all the classmates who had been bullied by Linda to stand up and seek legal action against her, so that she would face the consequences of her actions. Although justice may come a little late, it will eventually arrive. In the latter half of the live stream, Leo will face judgment. Ryan entered the studio with a face full of bruises, dark circles under his eyes, and a bandage wrapped around his head. Holding a handkerchief that had just been stained with onions to try to provoke tears, he ended up choking on it instead. I quickly gave him a vitamin and handed him a glass of water. Brother, the doctor said you're not in good health, so you need to take your medicine properly. It's all my fault for causing trouble and making my brother get hurt while trying to protect me. I'm sorry, brother. Ryan took the cup of water, took a big gulp, and suppressed a smile. He sniffed, his voice choked with emotion as he said, Sister, you can't blame yourself, it's clearly Leo's fault. The other day, I went to pick you up from your shop and saw Leo being abusive towards you. I couldn't just watch without taking action, so I charged in to save her and started fighting with Leo. I felt so powerless as he beat me up like this. I cooperatively opened the surveillance video from that night. Although the video had no sound, it clearly showed Leo choking me, Ryan rushing in to fight him, and eventually Ryan being taken down, after which Leo escaped from the store. We didn't bring up the incident of Leo taking me from my family to the orphanage, as it was a long time ago and there was no evidence left. The violent behavior exhibited by Leo in the video has sparked strong outrage among netizens, and many have criticized him. Especially considering that he was only 8 years old at the time, it is clear that he cannot be held accountable. After the video played, Ryan paused to cough, appearing quite weak, which evoked sympathy from many online. Leo really dares to spar with me. It would be a great opportunity to practice my Muay Thai. Ryan is truly a great brother. Selena is so unfortunate. She was manipulated by Leo and even got hurt. Fortunately, her family retrieved her, and it seems like her hardships are finally over. We have gathered evidence that Ms. Linda hired a large number of online trolls to spread malicious rumors about Selena, seriously damaging her reputation. We have filed a lawsuit against Ms. Linda for defamation and bullying, as well as against Leo for his violent behavior, and we will seek justice through legal means. Thank you all for your support. If you encounter any incidents of violence, please make sure to protect yourself. The live broadcast ends here today. I say goodbye to Ryan and the online viewers. The next time I see Leo is in the courtroom, where he has already broken up with Linda. Linda seems to have just lost more hair, while Leo looks like he has aged 10 years. The young man had white hair, a scruffy beard, and a slight hunch in his back. I couldn't help but ask him, Leo, why did you take me away from the amusement park back then? He paused for a moment and then slowly said, that day, I sneaked out of the orphanage. My mother abandoned me at that amusement park. She said she would come back to get me, but she never showed up. I wanted to find her, so I returned to the bench at the amusement park. It wasn't the first time I waited for her there, but she never showed up each time. I felt very sad and cried right there. Then you came over, like a little angel, constantly comforting me and even giving me some candy. Leo paused for a moment, his voice trembling as he said, Selena, I'm sorry. I looked at Leo standing at the other end of the hallway. Although I had 1,000 words to say, I could only give him a faint smile. When did you find your family? He pressed. I was honest about it during high school, I replied. I interrupted him and asked why he didn't share his opinions with me. I had once inquired about his views on the Shin family, and he had responded that the Shin family was powerful and wealthy, but mostly lacked compassion despite their riches. Moreover, a family that can raise someone like Ryan is certainly not a good one. I was warned to stay away from Ryan. Leo wanted to explain, but I shook my head, not wanting to hear any more of his words. Leo, goodbye. I want to live my life well, time is merciless, and we will no longer intersect. In the end, I received compensation from the Lin family and took my parents and older brother on a journey around the world. We enjoyed coffee by the Blue Agate River, visited the magnificent Louvre, skied in the Alps, and went diving in Fiji to admire the underwater world. During a stroll in the streets of Italy, I met my true love, Timo. He is a tall, handsome guy with a mixed Chinese-Italian background. Coincidentally, our families have been close friends for generations, and my parents have watched Timo grow up since he was little, and they adore him. He has a great personality, and being with him makes me feel relaxed and happy. I feel that I have finally found the right person.